Hello my lovelies, how are you all? I hope you're all okay. I am still flipping freezing. I don't like winter. I don't like winter. I don't mind if it was like cold and like crisp and lovely, but this wet weather can just go away. I don't like it. It's cold and horrible and wet and manky. I hope it's not too bad by you guys. So hopefully you're staying warm at least. We're going to do a little project tonight, which I've been playing around with, and I really enjoyed the final outcome. So we're going to get to that in a moment. Just waiting for some people to come online. So if you're there, please do say hello. Oh, there we go. We're suddenly popping up. Hi, Jean. Hi, Leslie. We've had a productive day in the shop today. Got loads done, which is good. Got some quilts basted and got all sorts of bits and pieces doing. We are almost at the 10,000. So if you were thinking about putting an order in, there is going to be a little, well, this is not a little, a special surprise in our 10,000th order, which is very exciting. We're literally watching the little counter count down as orders come in, and we're nearly there. So hi Natalie, how you've been cold all day as well. I know it's horrible out there, isn't it? Horrible. I don't like this weather. Josh, the crazy boy, went for a run earlier. I was like, what's the matter with you? So I think we're just going to crack straight on with it tonight. Hi Bernie, hi Carol, hello my lovely, hi Sue. Lots of you coming online, fabulous. I don't think there was any other news. I don't think I had any other news. No, I don't think so. We've obviously got the charity so long. Thank you for those of you who may have donated. I know some of you have. If you haven't and you could spare, even if it's £1, we'd greatly appreciate it. I hope you'll join in with us. If you are local and you want to pop into the shop on Sunday, drop us a message. Let me know what time you get. Let us know roughly, approximately. If you're coming morning or afternoon or whatever, come in and say hello. Come in and join the fun. Come and see what we're doing. Hi Maria. Hi. Oh, there's some people there I missed. The comments went too quickly then. Hi Claire. Hi Jean. Hello. It's cold and wet in Plymouth as well, is it lovely? Oh, I'm not surprised. Right, what we're going to do tonight anyway, we're going to crack straight on, is we're going to make, I'm calling it a two-way tote because I'm going to have to stand up for this. Hopefully you can see. So I've made this out of some denim that I had, some spotty denim. Okay, this was my sample one. So it's a little backpack. I'm going to put it on. Hopefully you can see. Hopefully this works. So it's a little backpack. Okay, so you've got a nice little backpack. Keeps your hands free when you're shopping, all of that. But it's also, when you pull up the straps, I'm going to stay stood so I can do this, hopefully in the camera. Did you do your quick make straw? Oh, I didn't, Maria. I'd forgotten all about that. I will do it. But it also turns into a tote bag. So you don't have to wear it as a backpack. You can also, it's just a normal tote bag. Okay. So I'll try and do it under the overhead. But hopefully it's very difficult to show you bigger things with these cameras. And then you just pull the straps up tight again, like that. And it becomes the backpack again, like this. Okay, so I'm going to put it under the overhead to see. Maria, the quick make straw, completely forgot. I will make sure it's all ready for tomorrow, and Sarah can do it in the 1 o'clock tomorrow. Totally forgot. Thank you for reminding me. Totally forgot about that. Christmas happened, didn't it? And I completely forgot. Hi Leslie, hi Anne, hello my lovely. So let's go to the overhead here. Oh, let's move all some stuff. And you can see that hopefully now you've got straps that make it into a backpack like that, but then you just pull your straps up like that. Okay, oh, don't let them, there we go, like that. And then you've got a tote bag. Now I've put a little pocket inside with a little cam snap. You can you can vary it however you want. I'm trying to do it so you can see. It's a really nice roomy little, I've boxed the bottom as well. I've padded this one, but I'm not sure it necessarily needs it. I'm not going to pad the one that we're going to make tonight, but I might pad it. I haven't decided on the final pattern yet. But the one thing I have thought that I am definitely going to do, we're not going to tonight, I'm going to redo it, is pad the straps a little bit. There isn't any padding in them at the moment. I think probably it would be more comfortable as a backpack if you padded the straps. So, like I said, this was just some old denim that I bought ages ago. I think from Roy's Material World. We always tend to buy from him. And I just, just as my sample piece to see if I could get the pattern to work. But the one we're going to make tonight is, I'm going to use the Celestial. That beautiful new one from Lewis and Irene, which I am completely in love with. This is the double border print. So this will be, this will be like on the bottom of the bag. And then I've got the straps and the lining and the little bar as well. Okay. So what you'll need for this is, like I said, I'm going to write this up as a pattern. Once I've finalised whether I'm going to just interface it or I'm going to pad it. But if you want something that will roll up small and you can take out with you, then I wouldn't pad it. So you're lucky as I'm looking for backpack ideas that don't have plastic sliders. Oh, there we go, lovely. So what you're going to need is you're going to need 2 main pieces for your outer, which are 14.5 wide by 16 inches long. Okay, and you want 2 of those. And you need exactly the same for the lining. Now, I've already made the lining piece up. I'm just using a pale blue inside. Okay, but exactly the same, 14.5 by 16 inch, 2 pieces for your lining. And then for your straps, you're going to want 1 piece, which is 14.5, the same width as your bag, by 3.25. And then again, I've made the straps for now. It's the same as this piece, but for time element, you're going to need 2 pieces for your straps, which are 32 inches by 4 inches. So I worked out that you can, if you buy 3/4 metre of your outer, you've got more than enough to do this. And you only need 1/2 metre of your lining. Okay. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to make the straps. And what I'm going to do to this one is exactly what I did to the main straps. Okay. So, let's get a little iron across. First thing you want to do is just give a very gentle press, right sides together, making a tube. Just give it, you don't want too much of a crease in there. It's just a gentle press just to keep it together. And then we're going to stitch down the open bit. Okay, stitch that down to make a tube. So over we go to the machine over here. And I'm just using normal foot, so it's about 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. Oh, what's it doing? Sorry, 2 seconds. I've got the wrong foot on, so I swapped my foot over. You just put the right foot on. See, this machine is cleverer than I am. It's like, you haven't changed your foot. You've changed your foot, tell me. There we go. Right, so 3/8 of an inch seam allowance, all the way down. And I'm just making a tube, basically. So how are you all? You all okay? Is everybody all right? Here we go. Like that. Please do talk to me. Tell me what you've been up to. What are you all making at the moment? Like that. Okay, we're going to make a little tube. So come back over to here. And then we've got to turn the tube inside out. And as ever, I hate turning things inside out, particularly tubes. But I'm using me a trusty old plastic knitting needle. And this, you tell me, what's betting is not going to work on camera now. Come on, you worked brilliantly earlier. You turned those tubes for me, lovely. The straps. Ah, no, it doesn't want to work now. Come on. All I did was put it in and it went, and it's not doing it now. Come on. There we go. So I'm not obviously using the pointy end. I'm using the end so it doesn't push through the fabric. If you've got turners that work better, please do let me know, because I've tried so many different turners. There we go. It's going lovely now. So many different turners. And none of them really work very well. And then you want to move that centre seam to the centre of the back. So that seam that I've just created, I'm wiggling it so it sits down the line, right down the centre. And I'm just going to give that a press. Okay, like that. There we go. Okay, next you want to do is just top stitch, and we've got to top stitch all of these. I forgot to top stitch these, I've just realised. So I'm going to top stitch either side, both of these and this little strap. So I'm going to go back over here. I'm going to try and read your comments while I'm top stitching. Hi Lizzie, you've just finished cluttering your workroom and need a new project. This looks ideal. Oh, amazing. I'm really pleased with this. It's come out really, really well. Forceps work brilliantly. Oh, okay. I will look at forceps. Oh, I suppose because they'll clamp onto the fabric and help pull through, won't they? Oh, Right, so I'm just top stitching. You could use a contrast thread if you wanted to. I've just got a navy on to match everything. Leslie, I do like a good declutter. I do like it, and every now and then I get into this room because it's very easy, because I'm very lucky. I've got a lot of workspace, but I end up just dumping stuff in piles and think, oh, I'll deal with that later, I'll deal with that later. I never do. So every now and then, like every couple of weeks, I'll come in and just spend an hour putting stuff away, sorting out piles of stuff, and then I make more piles of stuff. You're making a mess in your sewing room whilst you have a little rearrange and sort out. Brilliant. Sometimes you've got to make a mess to get it all sorted. Sometimes you've got to get things out. Right, okay, so excuse the noise for a moment. I'm just doing this top stitching. Use fine pliers. Oh, okay. Well, I suppose that's a bit like the forceps, isn't it? I need to get myself some pliers, I think. I've had lots of different turning implements, and I never seem to, particularly with tubes, when you've got to pull a long thing through, never seem to quite get it. Ones that make me happy, make it easy. Okay, another little bit of top stitching here. There we go. So I should have done this a little bit before I started, I forgot. So I made the straps in exactly the same way. I made a little tube and then turned it through and ironed it with the seam in the middle. But I'm thinking that maybe these straps could be padded. I'm thinking we could maybe do them like we do other bag straps, you know, where you fold to the middle like that. What's that, Anne? You're decluttering your bedroom, ready for new wardrobes. Oh, nice. Nice, nice, nice. I loved it when we did our bedroom. We did our bedroom a couple of years ago and I had all new wardrobes, and yeah, it was it makes such a difference to be able to organise stuff, doesn't it? All the way down. Sorry, I was just concentrating then. You can't understand how the room gets in such a mess when you're such a tidy person. Oh, I know. I'm quite a tidy person in the rest of the place. I'm not, you know, I throw things away. We're having this conversation with a lady in the shop today, came into the shop, about if I haven't used something for a year, it gets either donated or thrown away. I don't keep stuff. I don't keep clutter until it comes to my sewing. And I'm really terrible about throwing bits away. I think, oh, I've got this random fat quarter or random fat eighth. It doesn't match anything else. Why am I keeping it? I can't throw stuff away. Hi Eileen, how are you, lovely? You're in Scotland until Saturday. Oh, lovely. What's that, Maria? Depending on what size strap I choose, I use to make the seams stitch and the tops. Yeah. Make the seam, stitch the top seam, doing 2 jobs at the same time. Oh! Oh, okay. I'm not sure what you mean by that, but I think I need to look into that. You make the seam and the top stitch, doing 2 jobs at the same time. Oh, Maria, you're gonna have, next time I see you, you're gonna have to explain to me how you do that. That sounds interesting. There we go. Right, I've done the top stitch on all 3 straps. So back over here, okay. So I've just top stitched down both sides of all 3 straps. I think it just gives it a nice finish, doesn't it? Right, next thing we want to do is we want to get our outers, the 2 outer pieces, and I'm going to keep them wrong sides together, like that. And in the bottom 2 corners, where's my rotary cutter? Oh, what have I done? There it is. I'm going to cut out 2 2-inch square, a 2-inch square on each side. So I'm just measuring up my 2-inch by 2-inch there, and I'm going to, you could mark it if you prefer, but I think as long as you're a little bit careful, don't go out up too far. I'm going to cut a 2-inch piece out that side, and then I want to cut a 2-inch piece out this side, 2-inch square out this side. So 2 by 2, and along like that, and then across like that. There we go. Okay, and we're ready to kind of start assembling it. There is a little bit of prep work. Now, I did think, just before we do, I did think that because this is going to be against your back, it'd be quite nice to have like a zipper pocket here on the outside, so it was against your back for extra security. So I might, when I write the pattern, put in a little zipped pocket on the strap side, on the outside, so you could put your phone or your purse in it, and then when you're wearing it as a backpack, it's actually against your body, which would be a lot, a lot more security wise, isn't it? Stitched with the wrong sides together, and then you don't need to turn. Yeah, that's a really good idea. Oh, I might have to go at that. Lovely. Natty, you've decided to make a list of all your works in progress, New Year's resolutions, finish things you've started before starting something new. Wonder how long that would last. Well, that's why we're doing the charity thing, lovely. That's one of the reasons, to try and get rid of some of our works in progress. Right. So I'm now going to get rid of one of these, because I'm not going to be using that one for a moment. And we're going to make some marks on the one side to put the strap on. To put the straps on. So those are my two long straps, and this is my little short strap, okay? Hopefully you're going to see this, because stupidly, navy on navy is not easy to see. First thing I'm going to do is I want to mark down 1.5 inches this side. So, because this might be a bit easier to see, so 1.5 inches, I'm just going to put a pin in there, and then 1.5 inches down on this side from the top. This is the top edge here. Put 1.5 inches there, okay? And I'm going to line this up, so this is the little short strap, so that the top of it hits that 1.5 inch mark, like that, okay? And once I've got that in place, I can then pin that in place, like that. Make sure it's nice and neat, like that. And then you're going to make some other little marks. So, where's my white pencil gone? I found it earlier and now I've lost it again. You lost it again. Where's it gone? Oh, could do with my white pencil. Hang on, guys. Let me see if I can find it. No, it's not there. I only had it a moment ago. I was like, oh, there it is. I'm looking for that. And I've dabbed it down again. Right, okay, we're gonna have to try and do this, and hopefully you'll be able to see it. Where on earth's it gone? Nope, lost it. No idea. So anyway, you want to mark in from the edge 3.5 inches. So this is on the strap now. So I'm marking in 3.5 inches. Now, can I see this if I mark it? Now I can see that. Hopefully you can. So I've marked in 3.5 inches, and then I want to mark in again another 2 inches. So from that mark, I'm marking in another 2 inches. So there, like that. Now if I had my white pencil, you'd be able to see this, and I flipping found it, and now it's vanished. That's so irritating. Never mind. And then you're going to do the same from the other side. Okay, so I've got 2 marks here now. So I'm going to mark in 3.5 from the right hand edge this time, like that, and make a line up. So I've got a line to follow stitching, and then another 2 inches in again, like that, and make another line there. Okay, so it was 1.5 inches down, and then 3.5 inches in, and then another 2 inches in, and I've made these lines, and I'm going to stitch down these lines, and basically we're making some little channels for the straps to go into. This fabric's so pretty, it really is. I love this yarn. This is the Lewis and Irene Celestial. We've got it in about 4 different designs, and it's delicious. Right, okay, so I'm just going to stitch down. So you want to just get onto that line, make sure you back stitch so it locks stitches, and then stitch down. Okay, and I want to go up and down 3 times, so I'm just actually going to pivot because I can't see the line very well because I can't find my white pencil. I'm going to pivot round. You could, if I could see the line better, you could back stitch along it, but I can actually see what I'm doing better this way. Okay, and then just finish off like that. Cut my thread, and then I'm going to do it on the same on the other ones. So there's my first one. So this was the next one, which is 2 inches in. Needle down, pivot round, and I know this is a bit awkward doing it this way, but it's the only way I can see the line. I need to get myself another pencil, I think, because I used to have loads and now I can't find any of them, and then I suddenly found one about half an hour ago and it's vanished again. And then exactly the same on the next one, so that was 3.5 inches in from the left hand edge. There we go. And then whip that round. Now, like I said, with this one, I'm not going to put any padding or interfacing into this one. With the first one, I did pad it, and it does look nice. It does feel like it's it's got a bit of body, but I'm a bit worried that it's going to be too bulky if I wanted to just, shove it in a handbag to take, shopping or whatever. So I thought I'd do this one without, and then I can decide which way I prefer it before I finish writing up the pattern. There we go, nearly there. And back round this way. 2 seconds, I'm just going to get the boys. Guys, could you just close the utility room door, please?
Yeah, okay.
Thank you. It's all right, they're just dishing out their dinner and it's just a bit noisy. Hi Karen, how are you, lovely? Right, okay, so back over to the overhead a second. So you can see on the back there, I've just sewn it there. And I'm just going to then very quickly just, because I've lock stitched it, I can just snip off those ends like that. Okay. Next thing you want to do is going to go down to where these little boxed cutout pieces are here, and we're going to measure up 2 inches along the sides. So I'm going to go up to there, and I'm going to use pins for this because it's easier, because I'm going to be pinning anyway. So I'm going to put a pin in there. Can you remember where you found it? Did you put it back in a second? Huh. Well, I found it when I moved a load of fabric, and I was like, oh, there it is. And I thought I'd put it just here by the microphone. And then when I went to get it, I've just found it. I just found it. Ha ha! There it is. It's rolled. It's rolled. It rolled down past the laptop. It was the other side of the sewing machine. Ah, there we go. It's too late now. I don't need it. At least I found it. There we go. And then 2 inches there. Okay, just there. So I've got 2 inches up on the side pieces. You found all sorts of things you'd forgotten you had whilst cleaning up. It's Christmas all over again. Oh, love it. Oh, I love it when you suddenly remember where stuff is. And then what you're going to do now is you're going to grab your long straps, okay, and you want to put the seamed bit against the body of the fabric, and you're going to line that up on top of that 2 inch mark, okay, like that, and then pin into place. Pin that into place there, like that. Again, keeping the seam against the body, you're going to feed that up through this left-hand channel. The left-hand strap, obviously, through the left-hand channel. Like that. Okay. Oh, excuse me. You love this fabric. I know this is... It is on the website. Sorry, suddenly having a sneeze. It's the Celestial by Lewis and Irene. I think there's 6 fabrics in the ranges. It's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Again, seam to the fabric on that top of that 2 inch mark there. Sorry about my sneezing. That's typical, isn't it? And then making sure I don't twist it, I'm going to put that one up through the right hand channel. Like, oh, come on, feed that through there. Okay, and just leave them kind of loose for now. You can, if you want to. You don't have to, but you could put some pins in here if you wanted to, just to hold them down. Thank you. Bless you. You know me and my silly sneezy nose. Right. Okay. Next thing I'm going to do now is you're going to sandwich this together. So I'm going to put this on top. So right sides together, the other piece of main fabric, and we're going to pin this in place. So let's pin at the top here like that. I'm going to take that pin out. Hang on. It was here. Just keep that nice and flat and just pin all that strap down there. Let's put a pin on the top this side. Just line that up nicely. Put a pin in there. Oh, I know something I haven't done before, which we got to do before we start sewing. Like that. So pin those in place. Line this up like that. And you can see you've got a bit of bulk there, but that's just the strap. Line up the outer edges. Don't worry about those straps at the moment. Okay, take the pin out of that one. Pin that in place there. Get that lined up. Just take the pin out. Make sure the strap doesn't move. Just pin all that into place. And then down the bottom, make sure that's in. And then last but not least, I'm just going to put one on the side here, just to make sure that it's all, nothing moves. Ow! And don't stab yourself with a pin. So something you should have done, which I forgot to tell you to do, is you want to just draw a line. So you want to draw a 1/2 inch line right the way along the top. Do not use a Fix-On for this. Use something, you're never going to see this line. Use something that is not going to iron away. Okay, so I've got a water soluble pen here. So I'm drawing a 1/2 inch line. This will help later with getting a hem really, really nice and straight and getting the top of the bag straight. So I've got a 1/2 inch line that side. I'm just going to flip it over and do exactly the same this side. I should have told you to do this first, but I forgot. I did it on the lining and then forgot on here. There we go, 1/2 inch there. All the way along. Just, that will help later on. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to stitch down the side, leave obviously the corners here, don't stitch in the corners. So I'm going to stitch all the way down the side, along the bottom, and then back up the other side, leaving those corners so I can box it. Okay, over to the machine we go. Like this. Oh, my pin's come out. Let's put that back in. There we go. Again, same, using edge of foot, so 3/8 of an inch. And when you get to the strap, which that's the first bit, I'm going to go back over it. So I'm just going to reverse over that just to strengthen where the straps are. Okay, all the way down this way. And I'm coming up to where the base of the main shoulder strap is. So I've gone over the strap, reverse over it back that way, and back again, and then off the bottom. And then we're going to turn it, and it's moved, so it's just, that's because I didn't put enough pins in. Go along the bottom now. There we go, all the way along the bottom. There's no strap there, so you don't have to reverse at all. Just, come on, it's just walked a little bit, there we go. All the way along the bottom. And then we're going to go back at the side, just making sure you reverse over the strap. So just giving it a little bit of extra strength, a bit of extra stitching so those straps can't pull out. So over that strap, and then back and over again, all the way up the side, all the way to the top. There's the top strap. So just reverse back again, and then off the top, like that. Okay. Over to the overhead. Here we go. And take my pins out now. Oh, so have any of you made any New Year's resolutions? I don't really make any because I never stick to them. But I am going to try and work through some of my works in progress. That's kind of one of my little things at the moment. Okay, right, so I've stitched down. Next thing I'm going to do is we're going to box these bottom corners. Okay, so I'm sure you guys have done this lots and lots of times before. We're going to open this out like that so that the bottom seam matches up with the side seam, and you want to open these seams out. Okay, you can do them one side or the other, but with a bag like this it's actually easier to open that seam flat. And again, we're going to put a pin across. Look at me using all these pins. It's just not like me, is it? Like that. Okay. So I've just made that nice and flat, both sides, and we're going to stitch across. And we're going to do exactly the same on the other side. Now, when you make your lining, you're going to do exactly the same with your lining. Obviously, you've got no straps to deal with. It's just 2 pieces of fabric with the corners cut out, sew down the 2 side pieces and the bottom, and then box the corners just like we're doing now. It's a really simple little lining. Again, if you want to put any pockets or anything in, you can absolutely do that. I would do that, but obviously before you do anything else, before you sew it all together. So I'm going to stitch across there and across there to box the bottom. Okay, just, oh, come on. There we go. And again, you know, this is going to take the weight, so you want to make sure you lock stitch and back stitch really well. Get rid of that pin now. And reverse there. You could, if you want to, do a couple of lines of stitching if you want to. Yes, works in progress are a priority. You've ordered more stacking boxes for my kit. You can label. Storage is always a good place to start, you know. And if it's, you know, it says, little saying, if fabric and a pattern is in a box, it's not stash then. It is at least a project. And you can say, oh no, that's not stash. That's a project in progress then. There we go, all the way across like that. Over we go. Okay, right. Now we're going to do some jiggery pokery. This is where this might be the only slightly tricky bit. First things first, we're going to turn it right side out, like that. Okay. And you can see that those straps are, and let's push those corners right out where we've boxed them. You can see those straps are nicely anchored in the bottom there, and this side as well. Just pull those corners out nicely, just push them out and tidy it all up, and you can see my straps are now anchored in there nicely. Okay, they're all nice and neat in there, and obviously we're going to line the bag. So we're going to flip this over. Hang on, let me just lie this flat a second, just find it all sits. If I do that, just so the bottom of the box is laid nice and flat, everything, I like it all to be neat as I'm working. Okay, flip it over like that. And we're going to bring this strap, so we're going to work on the left hand one first. Make sure it's not twisted. We're going to bring this strap over to the front, okay? And then we're going to flip it all the way round. So can you see that this is the front? So you've got the seam here, okay? You're going to flip it so that the non-seamed side is just there, okay? So it's that the non-seamed side is now touching the front of the bag, right? So I'll do that again for you. So I flipped it, flip it back under on itself so you can see the seam, and the non-seamed side is going to go here, okay? And you're going to pin that into place, all right? So you're just going to pin it to the front. So you want to make sure that that's nice and flat here, because you want it to be in line with each other, like that. And then just pull up the front of it and put a pin in. Okay. I think it's quite easy to make sure to get that bit twisted. All right. So you've got to. You hate having to have to make some cushions for the living room that you've promised your husband you will make. Nothing else gets in the way. Good girl. Do it. Do it. And get them cushions done. Oh, I didn't tell you guys. I've got a new sofa coming. I finally persuaded my husband that I was getting a new sofa. So we did on the Saturday before New Year's Eve. We went and bought one in the sale, which I'm very excited about, and it's coming in February. So it's blue velvet, like a deep navy blue, almost cobalt blue velvet. I'm very excited. It's going to get filthy with little man, but no mind. So flip to the front and then flip it back on itself like that and line it up in line with this one. Pull up that front bit and pin in place. Okay, like that. So you've got, they're joined to the front now, okay? And what you're going to do now is we're just going to do a very small basting stitch right at the top here, just to hold that in place for now, okay? So we're going to do that on both sides. We're going to do that basting stitch. There we go. You have some ideas for Easter that you'll make start early this year. Oh, well done. Good girl. Oh, hang on. Let me take my little table off a second because it makes life easier, because I can get this underneath like that. Okay, and I just want to do sort of about less than 1/4 of an inch. Just baste those into place like that. So Maria, because I'm having new sofas, I'm going to have to make some new cushions as well, aren't I? I'm going to have to make some nice new cushions. I'm going to do some new designs. So, Leslie, what are your ideas for Easter? Are you going to share those ideas, or are they super secrets? There we go. Right. Okay, so I've just basted that into place. Okay, those pins can come out. And then we're going to do a little bit of ironing, I'm afraid. So I'm going to just move everything out of the way, like this. And this is what that line was for, that 1/2 inch line. So, hang on. I'm trying to do this so you can see. There's that line that we drew just there. Basically, it's just a single hem over, but you're going to just if you've got a hot hemmer, you know, one of those lovely hot hemmers that you can tuck in and iron against, brilliant. I don't actually have one. I can't believe I haven't got one, but I don't actually have one. We've got them in the shop. I should actually buy one, shouldn't I? Okay, but that's what the line's for, so you get a nice neat edge. Okay, so I'm just folding it back against that line that we drew. So I'm going to open that seam flat and just press that first. And this is why you don't want to use a Friction pen here, because otherwise this line would have disappeared by now. And I've just got to hem all the way round. Oh, don't let the iron touch your finger. All the way round. Like that. Fold that over. When you get to the bit where the straps are attached, just fold the strap into the hem. Okay, so just fold it over as if it's one piece of fabric. Can you see what I mean just there? Just keep folding it. Basically forget the straps are attached. You just want to make sure it's going to be all anchored in. So fold that over. You can see this bit of strap here, but I'm just pretending it's all attached like that. And last little bit, all the way around. Again, open that seam out flat, iron that first, and then I can fold over there like that, and there. Okay, so that's actually the front of the bag done. A secret at the moment involves a rabbit. Ooh. Well, I want to see them when they're done and when they're gifted, okay? So just folded that hem, like I said, ironed that hem in all the way round, okay, like that. And what we're going to do now, so basically, where's the lining? There's the lining. So I kind of did exactly the same with the lining. It's two pieces, which were 14.5 by 16. Sewed down the sides, across the bottom, boxed the edges. Now we're not going to be turning this through, so you don't have to leave a gap or anything, okay? And then I also ironed that 1/2 inch hem in on this one as well. Keep this one wrong side out, and you're going to shove this inside here, okay? So get those straps right out of the way, and we're going to put the lining inside like that, and we're going to start by finding the side seams. So make sure that hem's tucked in. There's the side seam there. Make sure the hems are tucked in, and you're lining up those side seams. So there to there. And I would use clips at this point. Clips are much easier. Just get some clips out. So side seam to side seam there first. Hold that one in place. Flip round to this one. Side seam to side seam there, like that. Clip that one in place, and then this is quite difficult to show you on the overhead. I'm just going to do it over here a minute. I'm just basically shaking it down into place, shaking that lining in, okay, so that I can get it all nice and neat. And then we're going to fold over, making sure that can you see that strap is partly tucked in as well. I'm hoping you can see what I'm doing, guys. Me choosing the dark fabric because I loved it, but it's not easy to see. And then I'm going to do the same on this one. So you can see it's all lining up nicely. Make sure that's all tucked in. I'm just going to put a pin in that one, like that. Okay. And then I can add some extra clips in on these bits. One there. Ow! Finger. One there. Just making sure that there's no sort of bagginess or anything anywhere. Hopefully if my seams are all right, it's all okay. And on this side, like that, hopefully it'll just all line up. So I'm going to go there, more clips, another one there, line up all that hem. We're nearly done. Okay, that's enough actually. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to top stitch about 1/16 of an inch just in from the edge, not right on the edge, but you do want it to be within that little hem. You don't want it to be too far down, so about 1/16 of an inch all the way around, just to finish off the bag. Where's that thread come from? Let's just chop that off a second. There we go. So I'm going to top stitch all the way around now. So back over to the machine, and let's get rid of that table again. Okay, and then I'm going to start just here, like that. Drop that needle down. There we go. And like I said, I've picked a point on the foot to use as my guide, and I'm just going to top stitch it all together. So slow and steady. Take your time with this bit, okay? Because you want to make sure that that line is nice and in. What's your advice if the lining doesn't quite line up? I've had this happen, and you end up with a lump. I've had that happen loads, lovely, when my lining is a bit too big. I always, in fact I should have said this, I always sew my lining about 1/8 of an inch. So if this was 3/8 of an inch seam allowance, I sew my lining with a 1/2 inch seam allowance. So it's a little bit bigger, a little bit small, you know, so the seam allowance is a bit bigger, which means your lining comes out a teeny tiny bit smaller. And that way you can stretch the fabric, you can ease that fabric in. But I always do that with linings. I make the linings literally just a teeny tiny bit smaller, by, you know, 1/8 of an inch smaller with the seam allowances, and that way it always just seems to fit nicely. It always seems to just go, and it's a snugger fit, and the lining's not baggy, and all the rest of it. So okay, now you have got to kind of deal with this strap, okay, because you don't want to, you've got to stitch the strap in, but this isn't going to go underneath with your needle through, so just take it slow and steady. You've got to kind of manipulate this bit a little bit. Get that strap out of the way, get that clip out of the way there, and get that strap out of the way as well. So just go, I mean, you could stop top stitching if you wanted to, back stitch and restart, but actually there's enough give in these straps that you can get round okay. Just carrying on with that top stitching bit. Nearly there, I'm nearly back to the beginning. But yeah, that's what I do, Leslie, is I always make my linings a teeny tiny bit smaller, and they just seem to work. There we go. Back stitch just to finish off. Your linings always look fab now, we know why. Ah, thank you. Yeah, thank you very much. That's very kind of you to say so. So if you're using, a 3/8 of an inch on your main fabric, oh, get back on there. Ah, just dropped the table. If you're using a 3/8 of an inch on your main fabric, do 1/8 of an inch bigger on your seam allowance, so 1/2 an inch on the lining, and it just makes it that fractionally smaller, and then everything seems to fit. Right, okay. Let's just get all this nice and neat now. And that's my bag done. It's all done. Okay, so what you can do is, first of all, just chuck your hand inside and just get those corners in together. Like that and like that. And that one in there, like that and like that. Another little trick you can do as well, if you don't mind hand sewing, is literally just do like a tiny little hand stitch through the corner, here and here, through to the lining. So you put your needle through, find the corner of the lining. So I'd start from the lining, I'd do a tiny little back stitch, push my needle through to the corner, I'm talking a teeny tiny back stitch. You could put a back stitch in there and do that in each of the corners, and that holds the lining down quite nicely. So anyway, right. So there's my tote bag like that. Okay, so it's just, we'll chop off all those ends later. There we go. That would be my tote bag. So I would just carry it like that, nice and roomy. You could put a magnetic clasp on if you wanted to hold it, or you could, like I said, on the other one I put a pocket on the inside. So I've did a little pocket in the lining. I put a cam snap on it. You know, add pockets as you like. This would be great to be zippered across the top as well. Ooh, that's a good shout, Sean. Maybe I'll work that into it as well, where I put a zip in there. I'd have to work that out. It'd be a totally different instruction, because you couldn't do that. You could put a flange zip in there, mind. I'll think about that, lovely. But yes, yeah, you couldn't do it this construction and put a zip in, because you couldn't drop it in with a zip. But there might be a way to put a zip in. I'll look at it. But when you flip it over and pull those straps tight, like that, and like, ooh, hang on, twisted up, there we go, like that, and go there, you've got your backpack, and that will now sit on my back. So if I go back over here, hi, it's me again. Okay, so I can now use that as a backpack. I think they'd make great bags for kids, for PE bags. Okay, so I've got my backpack now, like that. You know, so nice and easy. I've only just turned into it. It's a book backpack. It is a backpack and a tote bag, lovely. Hang on, let me just come back over to here a second. There we go. Bit late, but looks excited. Oh, please do watch, lovely. So, yeah, it becomes a backpack like that with straps. But if you don't want it to be a backpack and you just want it to be a tote bag, you're going to pull these up like that. And it's just a lovely tote bag. Okay, like that. So, lots of ways. I mean, this would then fold down really, if you don't put wadding in it, it would fold down really, really small and rolled up. And one of those things you can keep in the bottom of your handbag for, you know, if you're out and about in January sales shopping or whatever, and you can put it on your back, fill it up, put it on your backpack, back, and then keep your hands free for more shopping. Or if you were at a show, if you're coming to see us at like Newark, or you're going to Newton Abbot or Malvern or whatever, you fill it up, takes the strain. So without wadding in it, it's quite versatile, as in you could make a little pouch for it, absolutely. It'd be quite good. You can roll it quite small. You can't do that as well by putting wadding in it, you know, because it's, I mean, you can to a certain extent, but it's a bit more bulky with wadding in it. All I did was I wadded the lining. So before I put the lining in, I just spray basted it to some, you know, my lining fabric and did exactly the same. But if you were maybe, you know, like having to carry a laptop around or something, you know, great for holidays. Yeah, absolutely. Or maybe you're taking you want to, for the beach, you know, for holidays, you want to put your Kindle in there, make a bigger pocket with a thing, and that bit of padding would protect stuff then as well. So your choice with that. I'm going to play around with it. I do like the idea that Sian said about having a zipper top to it, having a zip on the top, but I'd have to work out how we did that. We'd have to do it a turned through way then, and I'd have to work that out with the straps, but I'm not sure. I'll work on that. At the moment, it's just like this. So yeah, you could wad it or not wad it, entirely up to you. You can have a go tomorrow if it rains. Oh, lovely. Please do, darling. And please post a picture if you do. I'm in love with this fabric. Absolutely love this celestial fabric. I think it's really, really cute. So yeah, so that's my little two-way tote. So it's a tote and a backpack. You can make it, yeah. Or more pops at the top, yeah. I mean, you could put maybe like a magnetic clasp there, or a couple of hiding some cam snaps across the top. I like the idea of putting a zipped pouch, you know, the what I call a letterbox zip pocket on the back where the straps are, so that is against your back for like security, you know, because it's, people can't get their hands in and it's right up against your back. You'd feel it, wouldn't you, if somebody were to get in there and unzip it. So I'm thinking I might actually, when I write the pattern fully, actually put a letterbox zip pocket in there, so that you could zip that up, and when it's a backpack, it's all nice and safe because it's against your back. So I'm going to play around with it. I think it's lush as it is, but it's got other possibilities. There's other things you can do with it as well. So that's it for me tonight, guys. God, I've been going on for ages. That's ages and ages. I won't be back tomorrow. Sarah's back tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Please don't forget that we've got the charity thing on Sunday. If you would like to come and see us in the shop, please do. If not, we will be live for 12 hours sewing our little brains out, trying to get as many projects finished as we can. And yeah, that's it from me this week. Well, you won't from this week because I'll see you Sunday. But yeah, I'll see you soon. Don't forget Sarah's here tomorrow at 1. Take care, my darlings. Bye.